Hear, O my people, I will speak, O Israel, and testify to you. I am God, even your God. I will not reprove you for your sacrifices or your burnt offerings that have been continually before me. I will take no bullock out of your house, nor he-goats out of your fold, for every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon the 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I wouldn't tell you, for the world is mine, and the fullness thereof. So will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the blood of goats? Instead, offer unto God thanksgiving, and pay your vows unto the Most High. And call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. A lot of times we feel it's about what we can do for God, how we can serve God. This is what we think all the time. But truthfully, there's nothing you can do for God. Nothing. But there's everything He can do for you and through you. So today, try to show some love. Be thankful for what you've gotten. Fulfill your vows to other people. By fulfilling your vows to other people, you fulfill your vow to God. Because God don't need nothing from you. But He would love to work through you. Let's get into the boxing. We're talking about this boxer, Danny Jacobs. Awesome boxer. And Danny Jacobs, he has signed a deal with HBO. And he will be with Matchroom Boxing as well. That will be his promoter. Of course, his manager is Al Heyman. And he's making steps to try to get the best possible fights at middleweight. And so he's made that move with HBO, which is awesome for him. And what's interesting, I listened to Matchroom promoter Eddie Hearn. And Eddie Hearn was saying that Danny Jacobs, he may be in line for the winner of Canelo Alvarez versus GGG rematch. So that's very, very exciting for me, because I would love to see Canelo face up against Danny Jacobs, as I believe Canelo will win the rematch. Even Jim Lampley said that he believes Canelo would win the rematch, which is very interesting, because Jim Lampley also said that he thought that Andre Ward would win the rematch with Sergey Kovalev. So I find this bit of information very interesting. Danny Jacobs commented about Canelo facing him, saying that I am bigger, I'm a much stronger guy, and if you watched me face Gennady Golovkin, you know, I'm longer, I have a longer reach. He also complimented Canelo, saying that Canelo has some skills. So Danny Jacobs has been kind of negative towards Canelo from since the time when Canelo won the linear championship. And he hasn't really said anything positive about him in a while. But for the first time, I actually heard him acknowledge that Canelo has some skills, which is a nice thing to know. I actually personally thought that Danny Jacobs beat Golovkin. I'll say it again. But what I will do also is I will try and give you coverage of the fight and my comments on it, so you guys can see the fight and see what I saw concerning Danny Jacobs and why I thought he beat Golovkin. Wasn't by much, but I thought he beat Golovkin. So I'll do that blow-by-blow account of the fight. Of course, I could get, they could flag me for the video, but it's a risk that I think I'm willing to take. And I think I will try and do some blow-by-blow coverage of other fights. Especially I'll start with these weekend fights, not the most prominent ones, but some of them. Because I believe that you guys need to see. You guys need to see what I see when I talk about boxing, which is another important thing. I'll talk about it a little later. But a channel called Mostly Kane, or Kane Mostly, he did a really nice coverage on some of the prominent boxers who actually saw Canelo winning the fight against Golovkin. Names like Eric Morales, Julio Cesar Chavez, Marco Antonio Barrera, Floyd Mayweather Sr., Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, Deontay Wilder, Um, and a number of other boxers, which I just didn't mention. I think Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. also thought Canelo won that fight. And they give their reasons, and it's some really good reasons. And I want to go into that in some more detail in a while. Eric Morales scored that fight the same way like me, 9 rounds to 3. You know, and he also responded in talking about how he thought that that Canelo landed the cleaner punches, and that GGG didn't really hit Canelo with anything that was tremendously damaging to him. You know, most of his stuff were, as I said before, probing jabs. He would touch him. He would just really, literally touch him on the forehead most of the time. Can't tell you what substantial body punches he landed throughout the fight. He was not consistent in landing body punches. He was not consistent in landing any of his power shots, actually, at all. So, Eric Morales again critiqued Canelo, saying that he could have fought GGG in the center of the ring. But I don't want to go into all of that. I'll deal with all of that later. But I just wanted to say that Danny Jacobs made these comments. I would love to see Danny Jacobs face Canelo. I would suggest to Danny Jacobs that he mentally get his mind in the right place so that he doesn't get knocked down in that fight. I think he would get knocked down by Canelo. Canelo's a very clever boxer. And if GGG could knock him down and Sergio Mora could knock him down, sure as daylights, Canelo can knock him down. You see, the problem is boxing's a mental thing. When you get knocked down once, Tito Trinidad was one of those guys who used to get knocked down almost every fight. And the reason is, once you taste the canvas one time, that's somewhere registered inside your mind. And just like if you have a loss, that's registered somewhere in the back of your mind. And so him tasting the canvas leads to him tasting the canvas again and again and again, as we can see. So it's almost a guarantee, if you know what you're doing, that if you tap him on the chin at a certain time in a fight, especially early, he's going to go down. And he's going to put himself in a vulnerable defensive position to get knocked down. That's almost a guarantee. So that's the thing that goes on with Danny Jacobs. And that's not a factor of Canelo's kind of fight style. In fact, Canelo's got a really good defense. Really, really good defense. So Danny Jacobs will have to, be on his A game. But he's the miracle man. If there's anybody who can pull it off, I think Danny Jacobs could pull it off. Even though I think Canelo's a couple of notches out of his league. And the fact that he was talking about Canelo as if Canelo was a career middleweight or something, entering into middleweight. I mean, this is the first true middleweight match he's had, and he performed exemplary. And again, it's because of Canelo's defense. So Danny Jacobs would have a tall ass to get past Canelo's defense. Canelo is much better than Peter Quillin is, and much more experienced. And Danny Jacobs is not as experienced as Canelo is. So I know he has to talk a certain way, but, there are levels to this game, Danny Jacobs. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I would love to see that fight anyway, so that Danny Jacobs could see for himself the kind of fighter that Canelo is. Because I think that is something you just have to see for yourself. Jesse Hart learned the truth about Zurdo. He had to actually see it for himself. So, I guess Danny Jacobs will have to see it for himself as well. But I wish Danny Jacobs nothing but the best. He got me. I was a doubter of Danny Jacobs when he went into Peter Quillin. I thought Peter Quillin would destroy him, and I was wrong. He destroyed Peter Quillin, which was a shocker. He pulled off the miracle man stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Danny Jacobs can do in a fight with Canelo. That would be awesome to see that matchup later on next year, November. That's going to be a mega fight. That's another mega fight right there. Canelo's just, he can have mega fight after mega fight after mega fight, Danny Jacobs is a proven fighter. He's got some experience under his belt. He's been through a lot in his life, so I would love to see that. Jacobs versus Canelo? You kidding me? And arguably, I said before, Jacobs beat Gennady Golovkin, landed a lot of good punches on him. He slapped with some of the punches, but nonetheless, he had some good work done on Gennady Golovkin. He's quick, and he's a smart boxer, so I would love to see that fight. With regards to Canelo, we all know, well, at least I know, Canelo beat Golovkin, in my opinion, and comprehensively. Jacobs would be a bigger middleweight, but Canelo's in middleweight now. He's appeared on the scene. He'll be stronger. He'll be smarter than he was facing GGG before. Hopefully he'll be more serious and apply himself better. So I would love to see Canelo versus Danny Jacobs. That would be a great fight. I don't think Canelo versus Danny Jacobs. I don't think Canelo versus Charlo would be as good as Canelo versus Danny Jacobs. Only for the fact that Jacobs is much more experienced. He's been at the top of his game longer. I think Jermell Charlo is much better, much more precise, much more skilled than Danny Jacobs. I could be wrong, but I think so. I just think he lacks experience, and he's still learning. But I would love to see Danny Jacobs versus Canelo. I would like to see Jermell Charlo versus Canelo. Oh, by the way, Hassan Endam, he also is now a world champion. I think he's WBA world champion. He's got Danny Jacobs' title now. So there you go. You remember, guys, I told you about Hassan Endam, and probably he would carry Golovkin the distance. I don't think he would win, but I actually thought he had a chance to win against Golovkin, but I thought he would carry Golovkin the distance. And Hassan Endam is like compared to Canelo and Jacobs and Quillen, he's on a lower register, right? You saw him get beat by Lemieux. So, I mean, he's not top tier at all. But still, I would like to see, actually, maybe Hassan Endam. I don't think he'll ever face Triple G, and the reason is because Triple G's in another sphere now. He's been part of a huge pay-per-view. So, Triple G's just gotten a boost by facing his first real pay-per-view star in Canelo. And if this thing, as rumored, made over 200 million pay-per-view buys, I can guarantee you that Triple G is not just going to fight anybody anymore. He's going to fight, the top echelon of his middleweight division. And he can now pick and choose who he wants to fight. I think a lot of people will want to fight him. And this is good because, you see, you got to understand something. I don't think a lot of people understand the boxing business. You work your whole entire career. You slave your whole entire career to get, you get a little 1 mil here, 1.5 mil, a little 2 mil here, maximum 3 mil for a fight. Now you go into this mega pay-per-view. You're getting a little bit on the side. Now you got I think Canelo got 5 mil guaranteed. He got like 3 mil guaranteed. But then you get the back end. You get some pay-per-view money. That's where the real money is. So at the end of the day, Canelo makes 20, 30 million. And GGG makes 15 probably. Money he never seen before. 15 million. You know what I'm saying? 15 million. In a rematch, he probably going to make like 20, 25 million. That's some serious money. You know what I'm saying? So the next fight he has to put on Triple G. Win, lose, or draw, he's going to get some, the check's going to get bigger. You know what I'm saying? You may get a guaranteed purse of about $10 million. You know what I'm saying? So people don't see these things. Boxers, they not only, when you reach that kind of level, you make more money. And that's, as a veteran, that's nice to know this person's not going to fight no more. Now he's cashing out. Now he's actually making the real paper. So when you fight a cash cow, your stock goes up, and then the level of competition you have to face goes up. Now the top echelon guys want a part of you because they want to get paid too. So I'm happy that Triple G got this for his life, and he's a nice guy. He's a beast in the ring. His attitude is fierce, but he is a nice person. And he really wants to teach other people about boxing. And to come all the way from Kazakhstan like Kostazu did and to make it big in America, that's huge for this brother, man. And I'm nothing but happy for him, And Danny Jacobs, he looks like, well, he's always been paid pretty well, But he's now going to be going up there. You remember, Danny Jacobs, one of Al Heyman's early clients. He'd been around for a long time. So, I'm just saying that it's good to see Danny Jacobs out there. But I'm just saying, when it comes to Canelo, I'm just going to say this to people because people just don't understand. Canelo got all kinds of skills and that and abilities. He's got a lot of stuff. All right, he can fight all kind of how. And I don't think people appreciate him. Okay, he's not really an outboxer. He don't fight on the outside that much. But when it comes to mid-range, in the pocket, even inside, the guy can fight, man. The boy can fight. And I saw him outbox Triple G too. He was fighting on the outside at certain points in time. So I'm just saying, man, this guy has the potential to be really, really big, like an all-time great in our era. And he's ahead of the curve with all them other guys. Ahead of everybody right now. And it's a new generation right now. When Pacquiao comes off the scene, Cotto comes off the scene, I think the last of the old guard, I think Triple G's like an old guard too, because he was really from Sergio Martinez and these guys' time. So once he disappears off the scene, you're looking at Andrew Ward left. You're really looking at, if you ask me, who would be the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world? BoxRec and me agree. It's Canelo right now. Actively, Canelo's the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. That's what I think. I don't think it's Lomachenko. I don't. He's good, and he's he's in the discussion. I don't think it's. I don't think, and Timothy Bradley's left the game too. I don't think it's Terrence Crawford, and he's very good, and he's unified champion and everything. But you look at his resume, he ain't fought nobody like what Canelo fought. All right, he's none of them. I don't think it's the other front runners are Deontay Wilder. I'll tell you, they're fresh. It's new guys now. Wilder, you got Keith Thurman. But Keith Thurman hasn't really done anything big except for face Danny Garcia. That's his major. That's one of the major superstars he really beat. Sean Porter, he was a champion, yeah, but, we ain't got nobody else. Errol Spence Jr., he won against Kell Brook. That's a good win, a solid win. But Kell Brook, again, he not been a long reigning champion. Danny Garcia beats Kell Brook any day and time in terms of resume. Who else we got out there? We got Rigo, but Rigo ain't really done nothing since Donaire. We got Gennady Golovkin, but I can't put Gennady over Canelo. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world who deserves it, it's Canelo. He's also the #1 pay-per-view attraction. It's just what it is. These are just facts. All right? You look at his pay-per-view numbers, they're consistently in the high 900s or over 1 million pay-per-view buys. This dude is the next. All right? So, say what you want. This is the Canelo era. And Canelo going to reign supreme for quite a while, I think. In my opinion. He going to be the next cash cow, and he going to be the next big star. Period. I just hope he learns some English. I know he knows some English. And I hope he stays disciplined. And I hope he stays learning the sweet science. Just keep on learning the sweet science, because he got a tool bag. In terms of Mexican fighters, I think his tool bag is better than any Mexican fighter I've seen for a while. I'm not saying he's the best skilled Mexican fighter I've ever seen. I'm not saying that. I won't go out on a limb and say that yet, because his career is still young. But dude's only 25 years of age, man. He gonna turn 26 next year. This dude has fought Shane Mosley, Floyd Mayweather, Erislandy Lara, Austin Trout, Miguel Cotto, and now Gennady Golovkin. Yo, that's a deep resume. And he only 25, folks. He's only 25. He gonna be 26 soon, but I mean, this is just crazy. Dude got a resume. He got a serious resume. And the experience this dude got, I'm telling you, man, he gonna be hard to beat, period. It might be guys that punch harder, they may be quicker, they may be faster, but he gonna beat them. He gonna beat them all. I'm telling you right now. I'm just saying it right now. Right? Canelo is something. He's something. That boy is something. And Floyd knew what he was saying. I remember when Floyd beat him and everybody was like, Canelo this and that. And he's like, nope. Floyd put up his hand and said, nope. 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 You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, not this one. This one's special. Floyd knew what he was saying because he saw how Canelo was. And, I think Canelo's the next big superstar. I really do. But we'll see. A lot of people don't feel that he's all that. Some people feel he's overhyped. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. You know, we'll see. I think he's good. I would love him to rematch Erislandy Lara. Um, I don't see a reason for him to rematch Austin Trout. I don't. I don't see a reason. I mean, I thought he beat Austin Trout. I just thought the judges' scorecards were a little too wide. They were, some of the judges' scorecard. One judge's scorecard was ridiculous. Okay, but the only fight I think he should rematch is Erislandy Lara, because Lara let her come up to middleweight, which I don't think would be too much of a problem for Lara. But I would love him to rematch Erislandy Lara. That's the only spot I think on his record in terms of people doubting him. When Floyd faced Jose Luis Castillo, and they said he lost to Jose Luis Castillo, he rematched him immediately. And I thought Canelo shouldn't have just said he ran. He should have just rematched the dude and beat him again, but beat him more comprehensively, because he knew what to do. He knew what to do to this guy. But just go to the guy's body and keep on going to his body, and then he would take him out on top. That's all Canelo needed to do. But I give him mad props for fighting Erislandy Lara. He didn't have to, but he did it. And all I'm saying is, I think he should rematch Erislandy Lara. I would love to see him face Jamal Charlo and also Demetrius Andrade. I would like Demetrius Andrade to move up to middleweight and face Canelo. I would love that to happen, because see, these guys, they talk a lot. Demetrius Andrade, and he's undefeated right now. But with all that talk that Demetrius Andrade talk, and I know he's somewhat of a beast, and I know he's quick, I just don't think Demetrius Andrade beats Canelo. I just don't think so. I don't believe so. I don't think none of them boys ready for Canelo right now. But they calling him out. Well, come up to 160 and face Canelo. Alright, come up to 160 and face Canelo. Simple. Alright? He beat a guy who had more experience and was better than all of y'all. This is Erislandy Lara. If he could beat Lara, I'm pretty sure he could beat almost all of y'all, except for Jamal Charlo. I'm not saying. If Jamal Charlo had a little bit more experience, I think Jamal Charlo could beat Canelo. That's what I think. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all, because I don't know. Jamal Charlo, they all train really good. Ronnie Shields is a great trainer and everything. But I'll be honest with you. At the end of the day, Canelo got so much more experience than them boys. I don't know if they beat him. I just don't think so. So, that's my take on that. On that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave your comments in the comment section below. You guys have a great one.